Are we live yet? Hold up, I'm waiting for it to load up on the YouTube. See if it actually did its thing. Wait for it, because it's saying it's live.
Yeah, I ain't getting my YouTube notification just yet. You know. There you go. There you go. The YouTube notification.
All right. Now let's see how it looks on this side before I,
in
get
living
wild
color.
and keep going.
Oh yeah, I could pull up. Let me pull up YouTube. Let me go.
Yeah, let me go ahead and look at this real quick
and make sure
it's saying that we live. Hey, okay, it look good. Oh wow, it looks real good. Wow, I mean, not to brag on myself. What's up, Anime Lately fans? Welcome on back to another Shonen Ronin episode, baby. I don't know what today's episode is. It's 21. That was a lie. I made that up. I don't know. But hey, welcome on back. As you can see, Sam and Vash are dead. And so God rest their soul. They got sent to the Shadow Realm. They lost the duel, and so it's just us. You got the ooh, no, I can't say that. Can I say that?
I mean, if you wasn't gonna say it, I know.
You got the Nigarachi band this morning, and so.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is basically the nigga stream of Anime Lately.
So welcome, and I'm so glad that y'all are here. If you have not shared the stream with your friends and folks and family, go tell your auntie, your grandma, your cousin that like Dragon Ball Z only to come and watch the stream, and maybe they'll learn something that they like.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was like, wait, I'm not the biggest like DBZ
listen
anymore.
DBZ is a gateway drug, okay?
It is. I'll give you that. Yo, I like how I can see the chat because normally when I do stream, I don't know what the hell is going on.
See,
in the chat.
There you go.
Yeah, usually have to do a pop-out chat to pull it up. This is great.
I just ignore everybody. Be like, yo, I'll hop on my phone but this is nice. I get to see y'all right here.
You're welcome. I love to see it. This makes me happy.
Aniply, what's up, man?
Aniply? But good to have you back.
Denzel, Ty, thank you guys so much for joining us.
I appreciate y'all for being here. Haven't checked y'all guys out sometime. Well, I appreciate you coming through today and checking it out, baby. So what we're talking about this morning, we're talking about My Hero Academia. We're gonna talk a little bit about Abe and I gonna talk a little bit about Black Clover because that shit was wild. It needs to be talked about. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna talk Black. Wow, bro. That's right, James. You read that too. Now we actually got a group of people who can talk about it.
Nobody needs to leave. So yeah,
JJK. We love you, Sam. A little bit, but anyway, JJK, Black Clover, My Hero Academia. Did we all read Red Hood, or did you not hit that one, JB?
Not yet.
Okay, so I am not going to spoil that for you because it hit kind of a note today that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, so what's this mean for the future of this? You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we can get that shit figured out, and we'll go from there. So y'all want to start with JJK?
You did say Kaiju number 8, right?
Yeah, that's right. We'll talk about
Kaiju.
Yeah, all right, I'm bet. Let's start with Kaiju number 8.
Because Kaiju was crazy too. Yo, we need to keep a running tally.
Y'all go ahead and get started because I need to message Zay and tell him to go ahead and drop that tweet.
Cool.
Well, I mean, look, guys, if you haven't been reading Kaiju number 8 for some time, I don't know.
You're literally asleep.
It's like there's 47 chapters. Honestly, 47 is a rough estimate given that they used to do the cover pages. But yo, it's a quick read. It's a very fun read. If you love Kaiju, you're gonna love this. It's not the MC is unique in itself. Kafka is a 32-year-old. You know, he's not your typical shonen MC.
He's what you consider an old man by internet standards.
Exactly.
Right.
But this chapter right here. Well, first of all, last chapter, Kafka was able to overcome it. We had always been theorizing, like, what was it that was preventing him from manifesting? And it was himself. It was all a mental block. He finally got that out of the way. And now he's showing that on Kaiju number 9.
Right?
But, bro, 3 things happened that, like, threw me for a loop. 1, Kaiju number 9, like, we knew he was dangerous.
Right?
But he's definitely much more of a threat than we realized.
Man, when they explained what he is, I was like, oh. We don't like that.
Yeah, this man is adapting and learning as he goes. He's communicating with his other pieces, like, "Hey, yo, form up." He's like, "Not right now. I'm preoccupied." And
I thought that was hilarious because they're sentient, and I was like, "Oh no!"
And they seem to have their own personalities. They're self-sufficient as well.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. The fact that he's able to split himself in half, and each one can act completely independently of the other. Like, that was sick.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous. And then the second thing was, basically, we now know what where number one is.
Oh, okay. So they confirmed for us that if you're good enough, you can use two kaiju, two pieces of kaiju equipment is what we're gonna call those from now on, because they're not just weapons.
Like, I was like, yo, he has his eyes changed, and I was going back. I'm like, yo, has his eyes always looked different? And I'm like,
they have, but we always speculated that it was a stylistic choice.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, this is Narumi when he's super focused, and that's just what his eyes look like, right?
Yep.
But now we know that it's kaiju power. Like, that's fucking sick from
it's
kaiju
dope.
number one. On top of that too, so that's really cool.
For real? And I'm like, okay, so not only can they give them like kaiju implants. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so when he did say I'll wear you as a suit, he meant that shit.
Yeah. That wasn't no like bluff. He will legit wear you as a suit of armor.
So, question: do you think he's wearing like contact type weapons, or did he go through like a retinal surgery? Like,
I think they did a retinal transplant on him, bro.
Yeah.
I really think so. Because I'm like, if that was just like a contact thing, he could just pop out. That's wild. Let me take out my kaiju real quick. Hold up.
Yeah, word. But then,
so like, okay.
And for me, the third thing really was the fact that like Narumi is an all around just fighter.
Yeah, that's it. He's the all arounder, bro. He can do all of it.
Long range, short range.
Mm-hmm,
this guy is. And then you add in the basically the thermal scans. This man is Superman. I'm just gonna call
I'm about to say. So I was saying that they just showed that he could do all this, and I'm like, hey, so does that mean they about to take him out of number 9 gonna be like, okay, no, I got to take you out of the equation because you're a little bit too much of a threat.
Yep.
Or because I'm like, he could do like Abe just said, he can do everything, bro. He got the information on the battlefield. He can fight at long range. He can fight at short range. That's pretty OP, and that's why he's number 1. Makes sense now.
And I love how the last few pages were in color. I really do like that.
So I was reading that. I was reading that on my Twitch stream, and I saw that I yelled like, bro. I was like, hey, it's beautiful. I loved every bit of that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna need more stuff like this. I need it. I know that probably took a shit ton of work, and like, and when they do, that couldn't have been easy. Like, all right, so
it's
draw
gorgeous,
it, ink it, and color it for this chapter.
You know
like,
what?
Stuff
Ray,
like this makes me wish that manga used to be colored all the time.
Same, bro.
Like, I've read Dragon Ball Z colored. Like,
it's a whole different experience.
Yeah.
Which is why
and I love it.
Leveling has always been an enjoyable read because that's all in color, so it just helps you
big,
put it in perspective.
Big facts, which is on hiatus right now, and I'm sad. Hopefully.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it's on hiatus. So you got time to catch up, JB. That's all I'm saying, baby. You got time to catch up.
So 170 isn't coming this week?
I don't know if hiatus ends this week or not. So, but I really hope that we get it back soon.
Last week.
It was, and they've been on hiatus since.
2 weeks ago they didn't drop anything. Then they dropped 169. Oh man, okay, because that stuff is busting right now.
Oh, it's busting. They just made Sung Woo is probably one of the strongest characters in fiction right now. Yeah, and I'm not kidding. I say fiction, and I mean that shit.
Yeah. But to your point, Ray, it does look like that because just off the last few pages of Kaiju, it's just like, okay, so it looks like Narumi can easily identify your course from now on.
Yes, he literally just look at you and see where it is.
You have to remove him from the field unless there is a severe limitation on the use of the retinas. which I
assume there is. I think we're gonna get some kind of Sharingan type bullshit where it's like, hey, you gonna go blind? You use this too much, bro.
Yeah,
so
or like
gotta be right
limit. Like
I was gonna say there has to be an extensive like time limit because much like using the suit at like 98 to 100%, like there's only a certain amount of time you can use it, and then there can be repercussions after that. So but I think number 9 will go after him, but I think in combination of Shinomiya and Kafka, there's no way he'll take out Narumi. So speaking of Kafka though, like Kafka saying that pretty much the kaiju taking over his body taught him how to use his own body, and watching him put that shit to work, bro. Now I thought he would have struggled a lot more against number 9 because of all of the upgrades that he made, but he was working.
Bro, he came out like Goku hitting the Ultra Instinct for the first time. Like, oh shit, I'm faster than I thought. And I'm like, whoa.
He just grabbed the core. He was like, oh, wrong one.
Yes. So number 9 was like, yeah, ain't no way he could grab hold up, where'd that go?
Like, that's the first page. Is just that first page of chapter 47 is just utter destruction by Kafka. It's just like, holy hell.
It's like this is what we're waiting on. And everybody watching like, yeah, that's Kaiju number 8. Glad he on our side now. You know? Like,
and there's still way more to come. Like so much more power.
Because I mean, like we saw a brief flash of it. Like, so imagine when we finally get that internal monologue between the two of them. Like, because I'm actually glad that they didn't give it to us when I kept asking for it earlier on. Like when him talking to the inner kaiju, I'm like, actually, yeah, no, I'm glad. So like Kafka gets to understand where he is and what he can do, so that way when they do meet, he can stand his ground.
You know what would have happened? They would have been like, "Oh, this is JJK. This is Naruto. This is Bleach." If that had happened, they'd be like, "Oh, this trying to be the next
Don't bring
Naruto,
that up."
Look,
that's stupid.
I'm glad it didn't happen, because if it did, it would have brought attention to the manga for sure. But then it would have brought all that negative.
Which you don't want right now. I don't want it. Y'all folks who are y'all stay away from Kaiju number 8. It's fine. They decided
to wait, and then they haven't given us that early, or if at all, if they ever plan to give that to us, because the comparisons would have been like, oh yeah, just talking to your inner monster. Oh,
it's like, oh, this is literally just JJK and Naruto all over again.
It's like, I mean, it's a really frustrating. Common throughout all of literature, not just.
It's like, can't y'all just let us enjoy things, bro? Why you gotta literally be like, well, that looks just like the thing that I know, and the only thing that I know. Go watch something else, bro. Go read a book, like an actual one with words.
Read a book. Read a manga.
But no, like Kaiju number 8, this was lit. This was exactly what I was hoping for. Like you said, last chapter, he conquered his fear of. Well, not only that, it wasn't just him conquering his fear. It was his team saying, "Boy, you couldn't kill us if you wanted to."
Like, hey, don't.
Which I really appreciated that. She's like, "You really think I will let you kill me like that?" All right, bro. And I'm like, "You tell his punk ass." So I was like, "This is good." I was like, so it's like I gotta believe in myself and in my team. That's the line I took from that. And was like, yes, I love this. This is so good.
Yeah. Honestly,
so question for you.
For everybody,
what's up?
Go ahead, Abe.
Oh yeah, I was just saying that's the common trope for everybody. It's like, even with Shinomiya, is like, yo, you yourself can't do this alone. You've learned that, so you got to believe not only in yourself, but you got to believe in your team. Kafka, you got to believe in your team. Narumi's kind of like, hey, dog, as long as y'all do what y'all do. So I guess he kind of has a trust in this team. As long as y'all do what y'all want to do, how y'all want to do it, that's all he cares about. He places that much trust to work independently. So that's really a common theme of it, which is a typical shonen trope, of course. And so I really do appreciate that they were like, Kafka, like, settle down, y'all. Wait, that just because you got a whole kaiju in your body.
It's like, bro, we've been killing kaiju for years. Calm your ass down.
Remember, you a janitor, my nigga. You a janitor. Right? Don't get high and mighty. Hold on. You was cleaning up our work.
This is true, though. Okay, yeah.
I did really like that moment though, because one, it's really humbling for Kafka, but also gives him the confidence that he needs to keep fighting, right? Because like you guys already said, like he's so scared about killing them, and Shinomiya's like, dude, don't insult the division that way. Like, you're not gonna kill us. Like,
don't insult the defense force. What's wrong with you, boy? Which I did love that. She was like, had they not come in, my daddy probably was gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But no, I love Kaiju number 8. I need this story to continue. So if you are of an open mind and enjoy things, I encourage you, if you can, go and read Kaiju number 8 and then continue to spread the gospel of Kaiju number 8 to others, because this is a story that I feel like as it goes on will only get better. And we'll get better stories because of there's nothing else like it in Jump right now. Like straight up, if I can think of, yes, there are things that are similar in story beats, but nothing like Kaiju number 8 is out right now, and I love it. So it can stand on its own amongst, not above or below, but amongst our other really good stories right now. So absolutely,
we're 47 chapters in, and they introduce something that we haven't seen before, which is the retinas from number 1, right? So what other pieces from earlier kaijus have people been upgraded with? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things you can do, like the science of using kaijus to create weapons to make human enhancements. Like, that's something really interesting that I know we're going to get more of, because we have to see other divisions to see what other upgrades they've gotten. Like, this world is so vast and it's only going to get bigger, man. So yeah, like Ray said, if you are not reading kaiju, I need you to read it and preach his gospel, please.
We gotta take a list down. So we have Kaiju number 1. We still haven't seen Kaiju number 2.
I thought Old Man had number 2.
Was that 2 or 6?
The general had
that was 2. Yeah, he had number 2.
Okay, yeah, the weapon 2 was the one that ended up killing.
That killed his wife. Yeah, Shirmiya's mom. Yeah,
we haven't seen or heard about 3.
Nope.
4, yeah, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right?
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are unaccounted for. 6 is the uncontrollable one. Remember?
Okay, right. 6 was the uncontrollable one. Okay. So we know where 1, 2, 6 are. Haven't come across 7. We have 8, 9. I assume we saw 10.
But I think we know that they killed number 7. And yeah, we have seen 10. They have 10's head.
Okay, because that's the one that pulled up on headquarters.
He pulled up on the base and was thinking like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody." And nope.
Nah, bro.
Yeah. So it's, but yeah, that leads. That's, you bring up a good point, JB too. It's just like, all right, we were always theorizing like, how would we see this used? You know, we thought it just being weapons, like a gun, a sword. We were thinking Shinomiya will probably get like a gun, axe. I remember probably a month or so ago, we talked about
her axe did just break.
Yeah.
Remember that.
But now, you know, the fact that we can do transplants is wild, because like you mentioned, that opens up the world even more to the possibilities of how we're going to see these weapons being used. And that has me excited. Like, yo,
I'm stretching, I'm reaching for this, but could we potentially see a human physically changed to where like their skin is as hard as a kaiju's, so that if the armor fails, their body can withstand like the force of a kaiju? Like, I'm reaching, I know I am, but I think that's something.
I mean, not really necessarily, because their suits are already made from kaiju muscle fibers, so it's possible.
And since
it's like, why not just like why not implant, like literally do a skin graft of kaiju skin on a person, so they already have a suit, but it's literally just them. Yeah.
Or even like changing your sweat glands, so when you sweat, it like builds this film or coat of armor. Because now that we know that retinal surgery can be done, yo, what if they just say, hey, we're gonna
that's nasty,
a kaiju like
got a kaiju slime layer? Oh, you know somebody asked if they could transplant a kaiju.
Oh no!
Oh my God! Like I said, this is nigga shit.
Oh no! But this chapter was real good. Like I said, we learned a lot about kaiju number 9, which is way more powerful than we anticipated, and I'm a little scared for them. I think he's gonna get away again.
He has to.
Yeah, like at this point, when they describe him as a virus, I'm like, yeah, viruses can just spread it all willy-nilly. And so I think he's gonna get away again. But this time he's gonna go back to the other kaiju and be like, hey, yo, kaiju number 8, he ain't nothing to play with.
So question for you guys. We know that he's split. So what happens when he splits? Is he able to also make an exact copy of his own core, or is his core split in half between each one, which is why he
That's
can't
what I was thinking.
regenerate as quickly?
Mhm. Yep, that's what I was thinking. Because that, and remember, that's why when he started getting his ass whooped, he called his other half and was like, "Hey, get over here! Number 8 is over here." And he's like, "Hold up, I'm busy."
Yeah, he's like, I'm preoccupied right now.
So it means that the individual pieces are sentient, but I think it's also because they have their own core. I don't think it's a full core. I think it's just a piece.
What happens if they destroy one of them?
Probably he just loses that chunk of his power, I think.
Yeah.
So they're going to gradually weaken him when they get rid of number 9s. But I don't think until they get rid of all of them, they can't kill number 9. Is my guess.
So if you take out Beta, Alpha will still be good, but he'll be weaker, so he'll probably need longer to recuperate back to 100%.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, it'll take him longer to get back up to fighting force. So we ain't gonna see him for a while. Is what I'm assuming.
Yeah, basically, which is good because the way, like you mentioned, they called him a virus, and this is basically our second time seeing him in full fighting. He's setting up to be just that one of those reoccurring antagonists that.
Which I'm not mad about it because he is interesting enough and annoying enough that I'm like, you keep coming back. It's fine. You could be the Power Rangers, flavor of the week villain every once in a while. I'm okay with that. It's just like they're fighting somebody else, and all of a sudden, Kaiju Number 9's like, "Remember me, bitch."
Hey!
I can't wait.
I'm back.
Yes, every time. That's what I'm looking forward to at least. Yeah. But no, I love Kaiju Number 8. Kaiju Number 8 has been a lot of fun. It's just consistently a lot of fun. It's hype. And the art is always incredible. So, more please. But any final thoughts on this chapter before we bounce to the next one?
I am very excited to see the further evolution of Kaiju Number 9 because we've learned in this chapter, the more he fights humans and see how they fight with their weapons, he learns so fast. It's almost like he's a Mazo or some shit where he sees a technique and then instantly changes and adapts his body to be able to combat that. So I'm very interested to see where Kaiju Number 9 goes and what else he learns, and I want to see Kafka's journey and I want to see more of his abilities. So yeah, man, give me more.
My only thing is I've noticed that release dates is back to weekly again, and I'm like, it's intermittent now. It might go weekly, it might take a week off. I'm just like, look, do whatever you need to do. I appreciate it, but I like consistency at the end of the day, because sometimes I never know when it's gonna drop. If it's just like, hey, we're gonna drop 3 cover photos this week, and it's like, you could have just told me that. And then it's like, we're actually dropping a full chapter. I'm confused. What's the deal?
I mean, I feel you. It is, but I'm like, I think I'm used to this because I'm a One Punch Man fan on the Shonen Jump app, and that shit drops once literally every blue moon. It's been months since the last update, and so I'm like, when it'll show up, it'll show up. So yeah, while sporadic, I guess I don't mind too much. So, but yeah, I guess that's it for Kaiju Number 8. So again, that's Kaiju Number 8. Y'all should go read it. Go tell people to read it. If you like it, tell us what you think about it in the comments. We would love to know your thoughts. But moving on, we're going to take a democratic vote. What do we want to move on to next? We move on to Black Clover or JJK?
Oh, well, you said...
Oh, damn. You want to jump to My Hero right now?
I mean, you said democratic, and I was like, might as well.
I mean, Black Clover will be pretty quick, honestly.
Yeah, Black Clover will be pretty
quick. Let's do Black Clover because.
All right, let's jump into Black Clover. Let me change the topic caption then because we can do that on this, and I love that. Ain't that lit, bro?
That also helps with timestamps, low key too.
It does, yeah.
Ray's running the show today. That's right. Y'all gonna learn today. Yeah. All right. So Black Clover, bro. Okay, so I'll be honest. Every week, without fail, somebody spoils a panel for me at this point. It never used to be like this, and I'm like, how did this happen?
How are you finding all these spoilers? I've never seen spoilers
on the timeline.
The only series that I be getting spoiled for right now on the timeline is Black Clover, and it's like, I guess I'm not mad because it's like, it's Black Clover. I love Black Clover, but it's also like, how the hell do y'all keep finding me?
Like the only spoilers I ever see on my TL is OP, and that's not really panels. It's just like, oh crap, Sanji did something, and I'm like, okay. And then that's it. So I was just like, all right, I gotta wait till Sunday anyway to see what the hell Sanji did. But Black
So
Clover,
I'm still catching up, by the way. I'm still catching up on One Piece. We're gonna be there 2022. Anime Lately, talking One Piece is happening, baby. Listen, it's gonna happen. But this Black Clover chapter, when I saw that leaked panel, it was the one where it was the star magic being revealed for the first time.
For real?
Yeah, still, but I wasn't mad because it was like, okay, I see it, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And because it was all in Japanese because it was the scans from Japan.
Okay.
And I was like, this looks sick. I gotta know what it means. But it also, of course, it was like, yes, of course, it's the golden child that's got 2 grimoire and has one of the most powerful magics I think we've ever seen in Star Magic. Like, what the fuck? But I loved it. I was like, this is amazing.
Child of the sun and the moon, as well as elf reincarnation. It's just like, wow, he really got everything.
I'm like, wait, who's his favorite character again? Oh yeah,
He's of royal blood. He has the wind spirit, a 4-leaf clover grimoire, and a Spade Kingdom grimoire that gives him star magic. The fuck?
Yo, so this is what I said. Denzel, you hit it on the head because I'm reading this. I'm like, how is Asta gonna keep up with this man at this point?
It's anti-magic, bro.
But still, I mean, at this, I don't know. There's got to be something like we gonna have to hit a point where something is going to have to trump anti-magic. Like there's gonna have to be something,
right?
I think it just comes down to brains. In that case,
fair.
Fair.
Yeah, it'll have to be strategy, speed, because now we know that Asta can use an anti-magic monozone. The fuck?
Oh God, it's so good. But
so I can't wait for the next fight where and Asta fight side by side because that's going to happen probably against Morris. That's gonna happen. It's gonna be sick.
And so I hate to say it, now looks way cooler than Asta. I mean, way cooler than Asta.
I disagree.
It's Ichigo.
Bro, come on, bro. He had full star magic mode, full wind spirit, like mana loving mode. Bro, that looked way cooler than Asta. I'm sorry.
I'm more partial to Asta's Devil Union form.
Yeah, you and your demon loving. Oh yeah, I know.
I'm a villain, man. Can't help it.
I know, but no, I loved it. I'm still like I thought I was gonna be like, man, this fight's gonna be whack, but then it turned out this is one of my favorite fights so far.
Oh yeah, it was lit.
Look, I'm with JB. I'm still team Asta because
I'm team Uno now. I'm trading sides.
Devils are just much more interesting. But it does
more interested by itself now.
Heaven versus hell type thing though between the two friends. Like that.
Yes.
I like that dichotomy makes it fun. But it also, you mentioned this earlier, it does make me wonder, like, there's no way doesn't become Wizard King like Endgame.
Thank you. I was thinking this too. I'm like with all of this shit.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that happens potentially with I know. I feel like Jay going to say that he goes back to Spade Kingdom and becomes the Wizard King of the Spade
exactly.
Kingdom.
When Black Clover ends, will be the Wizard King of the Spade Kingdom, and Asta will be the Wizard King of the Clover Kingdom.
Clover Kingdom, exactly. And I'm like, I could also see that, but I'm like,
and then like Noelle might be like leader of like the Heart Kingdom or some shit, and then like they bring all the kingdoms together.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because she's like, I'm in love with Gaja now. I don't want to be a princess no more. So I mean, but I could absolutely see that. Yeah,
I feel like Noelle would want to stay by Asta's side. She's gonna stay in the Clover.
You're right. I mean, maybe they just combine the kingdoms.
Responsibility though.
It's the Clover Heart gang now. Who knows?
Wait, who takes over the Diamond Kingdom? Like, what happens to Diamond? They just
that goes to our boy Mars.
Mars, Mars.
Where's Mars been this entire time, low key?
Chilling.
We're waiting. Mars is going to be the first person that I think trades blows with Morris.
Yo, that'd be sick.
I think he's going to be the first person that we.
Well, I mean, that makes so much sense though. Yeah, I hope so.
Morris destroyed the Diamond Kingdom.
Yeah.
He destroyed everything they were trying to build. So it's like, definitely.
Yeah. I'm about that life. But no, this chapter basically showed me it's like, okay, no, Tabitha, you got a little bit more up your sleeve than I was anticipating. because like you said earlier, you kind of hit on it. It's like he's bringing in like this heavenly hell like dichotomy, and I'm like, okay, so you're now showing us like celestial, universal type magic, which we had not. I don't think we've seen anything like before. It's been very like earth based stuff from like most recently, like elemental stuff. A lot of that. Now we're getting more. And so I'm like, okay, what does that mean we're going from here? Because like once this arc is over, I actually don't know what's happening next. To be completely honest with you, and it's like, well, what do we get? Because remember how we keep saying we want some of these devils to get up out of here and go do some other stuff, which I still want, by the way. I still want some of these devils to be like, you know what? Why am I staying around here when I could just go out there and, you know, eat up a bunch of mana elsewhere? So I'm hoping that kind of happens, but I'm like, well,
part of me thinks that we are in the end game for Black Clover.
You think so? You think so? I mean, there's a chance, yeah, but
because the thing is okay, with what he just did, with what Tabitha just did with it's like, bro, this is like his final form. Like, what more can he get? He's blessed as hell. Like, blessed by mana.
Literally loved by mana. Not just mana. Mana loves this dude.
So it's just like the only power-ups and Denzel. I'm not familiar with that person, but that's an interesting theory that if Asta were to lose his anti-magic and develop a stronger sense of ki like Yami and possibly surpass him,
that'd be sick. I think I would enjoy an arc that explored that, because so far that's literally been like their trump card for everything is Asta's anti-magic, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but yeah, if we could just had a little bit of a time to explore more Asta's character and him like showing his resolve, and like the boy doesn't give up. So like, what would he do in that situation? I would like to see that.
Right.
It would probably be Morris being like, "Oh, anti-magic, okay, nigga, like so." And
mine now, yoink.
But then that kind of restarts Asta's story because he's back at ground zero. So it's like, wait, we have this climactic event.
I mean,
whether it's during or at the end of the fight, Morris is like,
as interesting as that would be, I'm not a fan though. I don't want him to lose his anti-magic.
Listen,
it's
it happened to another one of my favorite characters, and it made them better. My boy Ichigo, it happened to him, and it made him better. I'm not gonna lie. So,
with the full bring,
with the execution, I thought it made him more interesting because it made him really think. It's like without this power, was I the power, or was I the person using the power? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like more often than not, people are counting on Asta only because of his anti-magic, not because of him.
But Ray,
yeah, I mean, I slightly disagree with that though, because even in this moment, I feel like he only was able to rise to this power up because of like Asta's influence. Like Asta's resolve is so influential to everyone. Like that's what makes him Asta.
But you know what's funny? There were no callbacks to Asta and Yuno's power up. And that usually happens in this moment.
I mean, there's a
panel
of him like thinking about Asta
briefly, but I think it goes back to more of trying to determine who he is, and I like it. It's because it's like like I'm the son of the Spade Kingdom, and so it's like I got to do this shit, and I'm like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. And then they said, remember they because what we talk about, he's like, yeah, he's loved by Mount Amana. He's got a forklift Clover Grimoire. He's got this stuff. They're like, who are you? He looked at him and goes, I'm the vice captain of the Golden Dawn, bitch. And I'm like, yeah, you are. So I'm like, this was good development for for me, honestly, because you know how this is. This has been the Asta Love Fest for a very long time on the show. But today I got a little bit more respect for at the end of it. So, I mean, but in terms of what happens next for Asta, I think it's just more him and Leech literally like becoming one, I think. I don't think we keep Leech around for a long time, and it becomes just more Asta and this power that Asta has. And he has to figure out how to use it now because he's like a devil human hybrid all of a sudden. Yeah. Kind of like our boy that we're fighting right now. He's got the heart of a devil, so he's literally a devil, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Which is crazy that Langris's like spatial magic couldn't cut through it, which is fucking nuts.
That shows you how strong the devils are, and that's scary. Because I'm like, if these are just that strong and they just people who got devil stuff, the real devils is gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
One thing that really impressed me about Yuno's star magic is that he can create these stars and he can physically switch places with these stars in any position. So it's almost like he's using teleportation. So he doesn't even have to rely on speed because he can teleport somewhere else completely. So that's going to be very interesting against Xenon's like bone magic, because will he even be able to hit him? Because he'll be able to switch between stars constantly.
And I think we kind of see that in that that last Clash panel. Well, he's like, listen, I gotta crush you, bro, just for my own personal reasons. I gotta crush you, and I'm like, oh, I love this. This is a great like, I love the comparison and also like the split between the two of them. I'm all about it, bro.
I want to be a hypocrite real quick. When I saw him use that the stars to block, I was like, oh, he getting his Orihime on. Okay, I see you. I see you.
I mean, you right though.
I see y'all.
Right. Yeah.
I see all the bleak.
I mean, listen, his mom was Sailor Moon and his dad is Escanor. Of course, this boy is busted.
he is the Ichigo of his universe.
He is the Ichigo of his universe.
Oh man,
Yuno is literally Ichigo. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Okay, I ain't mad about it either.
As long as they don't make Asta Chad, I'll be content.
Asta's Naruto, so he's fine. It's okay.
No,
and Naruto is one of the most busted characters of all time, so it's completely fine. It's completely fine. Let me see. Okay, I was about to say, can I show that? Because Dylan says all I'm saying is that everyone is at their limits, and we're only at the first gate. Yeah, bro. Fatigue will be a bitch soon. This is also something I'm hoping for. But they also have this ridiculous trump card named Mimosa.
That's also the other issue.
That's literally their trump card. Mimosa is like straight up their trump card.
Was like 1 second away from like actual full on death.
He was dead.
Well, not even that. Not only just one. They really have 2 trump cards because it was
that's true. They do
trump card first. That was
they got Will and Mimosa.
Yeah, it's just what the heck. First of all, I thought Gaja was done, and I was content with that.
Bro, we said it. We said it for multiple chapters. Gaja's dead.
And I said, Gaja said that means Vonnegut dead too.
Yep.
And no one's dead. And
nobody's dead. But no, I'm with you on this, Dylan. So I feel like I'm hoping that fatigue does set in soon when the Devils basically ain't even truly got started yet.
No,
if you really think about it. So I'm like, all right, when the other shoe gonna drop? Because we've been waiting for it. And I'll be very frank. I'll be a little disappointed if they get down there and they completely stop this thing from opening at all. I'll be a little disappointed. Just a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit.
I'll be disappointed if the battle with Morris is quick and clean. I'm gonna be really upset.
But I mean, at this point, because we thought that this fight was gonna be quick and clean. To be honest,
I didn't think
and
so.
it ain't been.
We did. Yeah.
No, I remember when we first started talking about it.
We thought it was.
We thought it was gonna be pretty quick, and it's like so. I think that he's just been saving his best stuff for this Morris fight, and I think it's gonna be sick. To be honest,
yeah.
Like I said, I'd be disappointed if he made it shorter, but I think it's gonna be sick. So
I mean, Denzel, I really do hope.
I hate that we're always the one like, yeah, somebody better die. Because we talk about it all the time how death doesn't equal character progression, but like in such a dire situation, yeah,
right. It all depends on the situation.
Yeah, I do hope somebody get washed. Like,
and
for
in
real.
this situation, people should have been dead. That's all. Look. Me normally, I would have been like, hey, at least 5-6 people gotta go. No one went.
You think that many?
I just want one.
Okay.
I just want one to go at this point. Just give me one death.
I'm still of the mind that Morris has a plan to where he knows that the Dark Triad will be defeated, and he'll find a way to take their power.
Oh.
I think there's some type of
and he turned into like a devil Megazord. Yeah,
some shit like that. Yeah, something.
Okay, so what I'm hoping is he don't be like.
He needs them to be sacrificed to gain like a greater devil power or some shit.
I can see that. So what I'm hoping, what I'm truly hoping against is that we don't get another like giant ancient demon like style fight.
Yeah. I don't want
like please, Tabata, please don't give us. I don't want to be little people versus giant, mega powerful demon thing again. Please, I want this to be different. Please.
I mean, Mariana was outside taking care of that, so it's like you
she out there busting him up.
You know?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But like, so I really that's all I'm hoping for. But,
I hope so, Dylan. That'd be great if more.
What Dylan say?
Completely turn things on its head.
So what I'm hoping is they get down there and they're like, he's like, oh man, shame that y'all took so long. It's already been open. I've just been here chilling.
Yeah. So Dylan, the time devil thing. When
that is also something we gotta. Yeah, when does that come into play?
It's like, will that time devil power like fast forward time so that the gates open faster? Like, what's gonna happen with that? Because that's some tricky shit that you just introduced.
I mean, because Tate did introduce that, and it was complicated when he introduced like just the time magic in general. So I'm assuming that it's gonna make things a little worse if it does happen to pop up here. But I feel like
which is why Julius was taken out of the picture, because
exactly
with everything that he could do, you know.
Right, and I'm like, okay, I love this, but it's like I need you to like pick a thing, Tate. Pick one.
And kill somebody. Don't be afraid of death. Death is just the beginning. Okay, it is not the end. It is a beginning. Give a character. I mean,
listen. Technically, he did kill some folks. He just had somebody who could come in and save them. It's fine. Technically, he's like, I already did it.
Kaju's gonna tell us in the afterward is like, yeah, guys. So a lot of you had questions about what happened to me. I did die. You know, I was dead for about 5 minutes, and this is what I saw. So here's a few
I saw the other side. So just be ready. They mad at us, and they coming to kill us too. I'm like, wait, what? So I don't know. Who knows? But hey, May, welcome on in. And so after all these pops, I still think they were way too underprepared for upper tier devils. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. The thing is, it's like we thought Meglicula was an upper tier devil, but she's out the paint.
Megicula was a supreme devil, right?
She was a supreme devil. Yeah, I don't think she was like echelon. She was just like supreme devil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just.
But even if right, this is the thing. This is where I think like the elves come in. We'll see more of the Magic Knight captains come in to help fight while the rest are recuperating. And then when it all ends, it'll be Asta and and the Black Bulls to win the day. But I think fatigue will definitely set in. But like I said, the elves and the other Magic Knight captains, they'll take over for a while because we have other gates to open up, right?
Yep.
There's so much other shit to do. So that's what I think. And other fighters from the Diamond Kingdom too.
Yeah, somebody early on said something about because we were like, well, where do we go from here? It's like so Dylan said, yeah, probably an underworld arc / devil hunting arc. Because I do feel like they basically say, okay, no, this is part of the devil realm now, and he just busts it wide open. And I hope it is them fighting through, like, because I'm like, where are they the strongest?
In the underworld. Weeks. I want them to defeat Lucifero, but I want all of the devils to be released into our world. And then the next arc is everyone just spending that time removing devils from the living world. That's trying to get out of the underworld, because he's like, okay, I mean, let's even the playing field. We're gonna take you to where we're the strongest. That would be sick too, honestly.
Are on the same page about what if the devils go and attack the elven home? Because Patri seems to be the only one that's here. That's a good point. That is a good point. Because the elves are, recuperating, so it allows us a chance to be like, all right, what are the elves up to? We kind of just let them be visited for a little bit. They trained our heroes, and now they're under attack. Like, what's happening?
And I want to see how they use ultimate magic, because we didn't see that in the elf arc. Right. So we have to see how they use ultimate magic,
man. Which makes me mad, because that means they was holding back in the elf arc. Like, man, I don't want to talk about it. It's fine. But anyway, because sounds like they could have just killed a whole bunch of people in the elf arc, but they didn't. But I'm worried for. Remember how we said we want somebody to die, but it ain't gonna be the person we actually want to die. I'm still worried about Jack. Because we ain't seen Jack in a hot minute. We ain't seen everybody else, but we ain't seen Jack. So
yeah, I'll be disappointed if Jack dies, man. So if Jack dies, what does that mean? What does that mean for Dante and Lucifero?
I'm telling you, I think Lucifero stole. He just jacked his shit. He's like, I like your magic. It's mine now.
so much like Megicula's plan. Megicula needed to sacrifice Vonica.
Exactly.
Something else
They need a
to
sacrifice. Yeah.
Fully.
They needed something to get them back into get them into this actual plane where they are now. Because with the underworld opening, there's just a little crack that they can just kind of all right, there's enough that we can bust it wide open. Ooh,
that'll be crazy.
That was a bad visual. Sorry, chat. But yeah,
that'll be crazy development for Yami, because Yami has already lost 2 friends, William and what's Noct? He lost William and Noct.
Yeah.
Right. And then if he loses Jack too, he's essentially losing all of his friends. You know what I mean?
A lot of people have been saying for a long time that Yami about to bite the dust.
I don't see it, but we'll see.
It's possible. It might be necessary. But I was under the impression that when Magna whooped Dante's ass and fucked him up and made Dante basically
made him look like a fool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when Jack came back, Jack was like, "Oh, you still think you were kicking?" I thought it was to imply that Jack fucked up Dante and that demon. That's what I took it as.
I don't know, man.
The tone and everything had just happened.
We didn't see it happen.
We didn't see it exactly,
which makes me weary.
Since then, I've been of the mind that I don't know, bro, because we never got to see Lucifero. Period. And so I'm like, well, did that give him the chance to be like, "Nah, Dante, sit your dumb ass down. I'm gonna do this now." So I don't know. I still want. I'm like, he can't just not show us Lucifero, bro.
No, we have to get him.
It's Lucifer.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, some wilds for to happen there. I can't wait for it. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, we did it, and we're tired." And then all of a sudden, there's that what's that noise that you hear? And there's a big beacon of dark energy that hits the sky, and they're like, "Oh no!" I'm feeling it, bro. That's gonna happen.
Monica is still alive, but she's definitely defeated.
She got dusted for now.
Yeah, Monica's defeated.
Yeah, but
Dante,
I don't think
I assumed was, but he,
we don't know, because if we didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Yeah, so exactly.
We're waiting for it.
I don't think we've seen Tabata do any off-screen stuff like that, so I don't think he would now. Which thank goodness. I'm like, yes,
Maya brings up an interesting point too. He said, "I personally believe that upper 3 rulers might just be a supreme power which will always exist. They are the ones who form natural laws for gravity, time, and space."
Maybe.
So where would
maybe?
I mean, that would be interesting, because it means that they can't kill them, and what they have to do instead is trap them back into the underworld and find a new way to create a new seal. Because that would be interesting, that we're facing these devils that are essentially conduits for actual parts of reality, and we can't destroy them, we can only trap them away. That would be kind of compelling. But
yeah,
so
I mean, y'all bringing up some good points in chat. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like the way y'all think.
I'm enjoying these ideas. It has my brain working. And you know what? Yes, we saw Lucifero's connection to Dante be severed. So Dante is technically, now his own independent self.
That's interesting.
I still feel like Jack handled his ass, but if not, I'm gonna be like, "Damn, Jack, I didn't expect you to die, but I did want. Beggars can't be choosers."
See, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. We want somebody to get folded. So
I would be like, "All right, you guys. Well, Jack is gone." I'm like, "Damn, Jack." Yeah.
By the way, so Righteous JJK is next. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Everybody waiting. JJK is absolutely next, and then after JJK is we're gonna hit. Actually, I think we're gonna skip Red Hood today because James is not caught up, and I want him to get. Guys. I want him to hit that. I want him to see what happens because it's wild. And then so right after JJK is my hero, and that's what we're gonna wrap up after that. So stay tuned. Don't worry, but we're wrapping up Black Clover now.
So Dylan, my issue with that theory is that how are we supposed to assume that Asta can even use the Dimension Slash? That's Yami's magic. It's not tied to his sword, Yami pushes his magic through the sword. The sword itself doesn't have magic in it. So that's my only issue with that theory. It is interesting though, but that's my only issue with it.
I think that theory still works instead of just calling it Dimensional Slash. We know Asta has a sort of similar connection, but it's with anti-magic. His anti-magic can do a dimensional type slash rather than being darkness.
Right.
But it would be, again, like you mentioned, JB, I can't assume that Jack dusted his ass. And like you mentioned, Ray, we haven't really seen Tabitha do that type of off-screen work like that.
Yeah.
So definitely curious, definitely wondering when we're going to get
And
back
to
to
Jack, after giving him that big backstory,
That's
Yeah.
why I'm
That's gonna
still
kill
like,
him off
maybe
screen,
maybe that's, yeah, I would hope that he wouldn't do that to us, like straight up. Like please don't do that. I would be very sad if he did. I'll be very, very, very honest. Because I'm like, oh, you did all this work just to throw it away and not even show us. I don't think that's
yeah,
don't
it's
think
not
that's
gonna happen.
But final thoughts on this chapter, what y'all think?
I mean, that's MemoryNK. That's the other thing that I'm saying too. Like, the sword itself isn't special. Like, Yami's sword is not special in any way, shape, or form. So it's like the sword only uses magic based on who's using it. So when Asta's using it, he's able to push anti-magic through it, and Yami's able to push dark magic through it. So the sword itself doesn't have any attributes. And that's what I think anyway.
I mean, I'm kind of with you on that though. Like I hope that the sword is just the sword. It's a memento to
for Yami,
Yami, and so it's a character point for Asta to remember. He'll always remember Yami and what he learned from Yami by having the sword, because he respected Yami, and through seeing the sword is homage to Yami.
Like,
I understand.
Lick's swords had attributes, right? But not Yami's. Yami's is just a basic Japanese katana that he's able to push dark magic through it.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: we also have to remember that Yami's a foreigner. So there's stuff that we could find out. So while I do personally agree that he's just using a sword, I wouldn't be surprised if Tabitha said, like, yeah, that sword is not a sword. Well, you guys don't know Yami's backstory. Yami himself is beloved by Mana from some faraway land. Like, who knows? You know? Because it always seemed like a thing. Tabitha always pushed that Yami's a foreigner. Yami is new to this. We don't really know Yami at all.
Right? Well, I mean, I still don't think that Yami really knows Yami, but that's a different story.
I mean, how can he? You know?
Yeah.
You know,
but yeah, like MemoryNK again, right? Like, remember, Licht had sword magic, so he created those swords and gave each one attributes. Yami's katana is just a katana that was made in Japan. But again, like Abe is saying, we don't know the rest of Yami's backstory. Who knows? Who knows if the sword has any special abilities from Japan? Who knows? But as of right now, that's just what I think.
Yeah, and I mean,
because if that was the case, why couldn't Asta use dark magic from it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll find that out.
Why couldn't he even feel
I guess
the magic through it?
One of my questions has Tabitha done like an information book on Black Clover yet? And if he has, I don't know if he's talked about Yami. And if you know, chat, let us know down in the comments below. I'll put it in the chat, because as much as I love talking about Black Clover, it's time to talk about something I love just a little bit more.
Yeah, great conversation, guys. Great conversation.
Like, for real. I appreciate y'all for being here to talk about Black Clover. The Black Clover Hive is always strong, which I really appreciate y'all always showing up to talk about Black Clover with us, because it's been something that we've loved on this show for a while. So thank y'all for being here. But now it's time to talk about JJK. This chapter, Jujutsu Kaisen, is just, I think we're finally getting back to what Jujutsu Kaisen has been in the past, and I'm thrilled to talk about it. So who wants to start talking about what happened in this chapter of JJK?
Take care, Dylan. Look, Inspector Gadget got out the paint. That was quick and easy.
Inspector Gadget.
Also, the person that they're looking for, bro, basically trust. We kind of knew it was common sense. Trust no one. That ending when both of them are saying, like, yeah, he can be found in 2 different places. I'm like, what it's looking like to me is that this guy, this sorcerer himself, it's like a pyramid scheme, right? He has.
Hey, that's literally what it is.
He's like,
he even has receipts.
People. Yeah, and you bring them back, and I kill them or whatever. And you know what? To be honest, I don't even think it's a con in like, oh, he's lying that they're in 2 different places. I do think he's in both spaces. I think it might be one of those things where he's just in a kind of dimensional barrier that allows him to occupy both spaces. So you can go to both. We're going to go to both, and you'll still be able to interact with him. That, or it's definitely a trap. Like, it's obviously a trap for sure.
You know what I think? You know what I think it is, right? it's his domain expansion. He just has a constant domain expanded, and so it can exist.
The same thing.
It can exist in multiple spaces as long as you have permission to enter it. Is my guess. Which is also wild because this old sorcerer is strong as hell.
Yeah, that's what I theorize as well. But I just love how this chapter starts off. Like, I always love seeing like Itadori's like physical abilities. Like, this dude is just so physically strong.
Not only that,
even using curse magic. Like,
not only that, our boy he didn't got smart. His battle sense, insane.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, okay, so you've learned, and because he's been through a lot at this point. If you really think about it, Yuji has been through a lot.
Yeah.
And so his battle intelligence has skyrocketed. Like, he was like, okay, so obviously just looking at this dude, and based on the opponent that I fought before who was similar, I can deduce this. And I'm like, my boy. I'm like, yeah, okay. I see you. I see you putting two and two together. But I'm like, okay, so now that we know that Yuji's in this heightened state, because like he's there on business and he knows. Like it's all. I don't know if you've noticed. Like, there was a switch that flipped when they joined the game, and Yuji's just all business. Mm-hmm. He's like, nope, this is what I'm here to do. And I'm like, so this ain't. Well, I mean, yeah, he knows the stakes. When I'm like, it's also like this ain't the Yuji that we like met. Yeah. And I'm like, ugh, that hurts my heart a little bit. Because I'm like, we love Yuji. Yuji's our happy-go-lucky, like, just helpful dude, and that ain't the case no more. He's like, I got to do this because if I don't do this, everything's bad. And I'm like, oof.
Yeah, and more people die, which is against everything that he stands for.
But I will say, so Yuji has a reputation that precedes him, as we just learned. So there's a lot of people who know him that we don't know. And I'm like, okay, so that's going to make this a little confusing in some spots. Because they could be like, yeah, I know Yuji. And I'm like, but Yuji don't know you. But does he know you? I don't
know. And it's funny, too, because that kid was like, oh, yeah, I was going to die sooner or later. We made it seem like he was just a henchman, a simple henchman, just fodder that these two sorcerers that were Inspector Gadget, like, were using. But now we know, like, nah, he low-key probably answered somebody else. And nah, is he as weak and simple as we think? Like,
I mean, it's always. I mean, knowing Gege, like, there's way more to both of those characters, straight up. Like, I'm like, are they even like actual? Like, are they even like? Do they have a contract with somebody else? You know what I'm saying? I'm real curious to see like what these characters gonna do when they get to their destination, because obviously they're gonna go with them. I'm like, well, how is Gege gonna flip the rules that he already set on their head? Because that's the one thing I love about Gege is like he sets rules and then he tries to break them himself. With different characters. And I'm like, how's he gonna do it? I'm like, I want to know. I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. But my boy Megumi's in a weird spot because he's like, look, I will kill you, but you're not giving me reasons to kill you. And so like he's because I think he just wants to. I think Megumi just wants to murk people at this point, but he keeps meeting people that aren't giving him a reason to murk them. Unlike Yuji on the opposite hand, who's like, I don't want to murk you, but he keeps meeting people who keep giving him plenty of reasons to murk them. So, I don't know, but I want to talk about real quick the tattoo on old boy's arm. He made a point to call out what that meant. Did y'all see it?
No, but I just small tangent right now. I was browsing Twitter and I just came across a video. Meg Thee Stallion.
Oh yes, I love her.
Her favorite character is Asta from Black Clover.
You didn't see that?
She was on Hot Ones. Yeah. I need to watch that episode.
She loves Asta.
Yeah, I found another woman. I'd have to put a ring on it. I think it's fine.
Oh gosh,
it's okay. It's okay. And so I'm like, yeah, deal.
I just wanted to like, oh,
But no, I'm like, so his tattoo. His tattoo, what did it say? Was it Indomitable?
Indomitable.
Yes.
Which roughly translate in English to undefeatable.
Yes.
So I'm like, oh, well, that's not good.
See, that's a word. That's a word I would apply to Toto. So that kind of worries me that this is applied to him. Like,
I mean, it also could just, but I mean, it also could just be a tattoo.
It could be a tattoo, but then I feel like Gege doesn't waste.
Yeah, it's definitely not just a tattoo.
You're right. Yeah. Like it could be. It might not have any magical properties, but that tattoo itself speaks to the type of person that he is. And the reason I would have applied this word to Toto is because when we first got introduced to Toto, it's like, yo, that motherfucker, a beast. That's who someone I would say indomitable. You didn't even want to use it on him.
Did I just learn something lit? Hold up.
What?
Can I put chat messages on the screen?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
yo! Yeah, so righteous judgment says, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's choreography was amazing. Man, yeah, it was.
Really was.
It was so good. Like like Yuji's just confrontation with Inspector Gadget. I know we're jumping back and forth, but still, it was so well done because it was so just effortless to see exactly what was happening. And in manga, that is usually sometimes it's hard to pull off. But it was so simple and detailed that I was like, yo, this fight is like, it's such a small confrontation, but it's lit. I loved it. Like, yep, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Ooh, and then
good
JB, hold up. Because I can throw this on the screen because I know what the fuck I'm doing now. This is beautiful.
Ty, I haven't read the 0 chapters yet. Not yet.
What?
I will. JB, okay, so I'm gonna need you to do this. I need you to do this, please.
I'll read it before next week because obviously I'm caught up, but I just keep forgetting to go back to the 0 chapters.
Fine. But you gotta know what's up with our boy Yuta.
That boy.
Something wrong with that boy. You'll see why. But I
want to keep talking about the tattoo a little bit more, just a little bit more.
Okay, go for it.
So, do you think that it is just like his left arm that's like completely like indestructible, super powerful, or is it just the placement of his tattoo and his entire body is indestructible?
I would like both of those things for two separate reasons.
Right?
If the arm is indomitable, it's just kind of like, is there a rule that applies that just because the arm is indomitable, that like, is it something that he's touching is also indomitable, or is it like the space that it exists in is indomitable, or is it like he can kind of just withstand any attack that is confronted with that left arm? Like, there's so many possibilities.
I call this arm Diablo.
Diablo. Oh, so it's Chad from Bleach. We'll go back to Bleach again. Here we go.
I'm so sorry, you guys. To be honest, my opinion on the tattoo is very different from all of you. I actually don't think that the tattoo signifies an ability. I think that is more so a character design, but it just speaks to the type of person that he is. Like, of course, people can get tattoos and be like, oh yeah, indomitable, and this, like, you ain't shit. I think that Gege is doing this to be like, this guy has the confidence, and whatever ability he has a right to tattoo that phrase, that word on himself. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it has anything to do with the power system, but who knows? It probably, if it was, I would prefer for it to be a whole body thing rather than just an arm thing. Because if it's an arm thing, I'm just going to call him Chad from now on.
Which I'm okay with, but I mean, back to the point of that he's in two separate places but in the same place. That's the biggest kind of like flag for me. It's like, hold up, that ain't easy, especially how you do that in this game.
Right.
First and foremost, like how Sway, like that's how that I need to explain, because they're in two completely different places yet they're going to the same place.
But wait, I'll pose this question. What if it's a rule that he used to make up to be like, this space can exist in any portion that the user wants to? Like, there's a specific location that all others can lead to within a colony. So that's why.
But wouldn't that rule have had to show up? Like, wouldn't that rule have been like present and they would have seen it?
No. The reason I say no, because we learned that there are official rules, and we've also learned there are unofficial rules. Remember,
Okay,
like
you're
when
right.
they got into the colony, an unofficial rule was that it would be random.
People who
That
go
was
in
never known.
don't show up. They have a specific
Yeah.
place that they are predetermined to go to. Yeah, you're right.
Because so there are unofficial rules too, which is I want Gege to kind of explore that more, to be like, all right, because I was under the impression that once you make a rule, everybody knows it.
Mhm.
That's why we had.
I mean, and
rules.
that was basically the realization for us and the characters when they went into the game. Yeah,
was that like, yo, not every rule is official. Not every rule applies. It seems like there are certain rules that are prevalent to the entire game, and there are rules
the
that are
conditional.
prevalent to
they have to meet certain conditions. Yeah, JB, you nailed it right there.
So what if this is one of those times where this guy is using a rule that he made to allow himself to occupy more than one space at a time?
So what
if it's not a rule, but it's a law of the game? Because there's a difference.
Okay. Chat, what do you guys think about this? Like, chime in. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would love to hear what y'all think about this, because I mean,
sick.
I've been having fun with JJK since I've finally decided to pick it up and catch up. Like JJK is just a lot of fun, bro. I love this story. I love the nuances of it. Like Gege is just a fantastic, not just mangaka, but writer in general. Like I love the way that he kind of weaves his story and the plot elements that he kind of pulls in and out at will. I'm really, really impressed all the time with what he does. So when I say I hope that this man takes his time and is able to tell his story to like completion, Lord, please let this man stay in good health to tell his whole story.
Yeah, man, seriously.
I'll move
and
to
you can
America
tell
myself.
that he sees the long game too. Like this shit is so well written. You can tell that this is someone that sees the long game and probably wrote out like the ending first and then filled in all of the gaps in between. Like,
so what I'm hoping for, because like I said, he gave us one of the most interesting characters ever, and they just completely took them out of the equation with Satoru Gojo. And it's like I'm always, that's the question I always go back to. How does Gojo fit back into any of this? Like that is, I always go, because I really want to know. I'm like, how does
I don't think we'll see him at all during the calling game at any point whatsoever.
I mean, part of me hopes not, but like the fan of me really wants to.
This is on Megumi, Yuji, and the rest of them to show out. Like this is their time to shine. Like I don't think we'll see him until after the calling games.
I'm with you on that, but also like I just miss Gojo, bro. I do.
Yeah, me too.
Because Gojo is hilarious and just strong as hell, and that's always a fun combination.
OP, though he's
I know. OP. But now we have a lot of really OP people and these old sorcerers. And so I mean, look. So I have two categories now. There's old sorcerers, and then there's Maki. So it's like, what we gonna get? And then Rob asking the real questions, y'all. The real question has been asked. Where is Nobara?
She's in.
Where's she at? I gotta know.
She's in the hyperbolic time chamber. She'll come out on day 18.
Come out on day 18. Goodness gracious.
Because she has until day 19 to get some points. So she'll come out day 18.
So I'm like, I gotta know. And then we still have to figure out what's up with Megumi's sister. That's still the really big thing. It's like, okay, so obviously if she's there, it's because, I mean, you know, she's a sorcerer. And from what we learned, she got the choice to leave or stay. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so I guess that's a question because that's a gap in my knowledge. Did sorcerers get the chance? Like, were they offered the chance to leave just like normal people?
So I don't think that was confirmed anywhere. I don't remember reading that anywhere.
The impression is that non-sorcerers have a choice.
Right. Yeah, so if you're a sorcerer, you just eat it.
Thing.
Yeah. Sort of. It's tough because she's been under a curse, so she's like, she can't really. She can't.
Right. So she can't be. She's not there of her own will either.
Yeah.
She's just there. Huh. That is an interesting like piece of information that I really want to see.
Like Rob mentioned, where's Nobara is like she's also a sorcerer, so she technically doesn't have a choice, but she's out of commission because she's on the brink of death. So either she's dead, but then Gege would have told us that
but she's not,
or she's just
no way.
Yeah, no, she's not dead. But
I would literally start riots in the street.
Right.
So
Okay.
what we know then is that there's different ways to do this. It's day 12. If you have shown inactivity for 19 days, you're done.
You use kaput the moose. Yeah.
So we have about 7 days to work with. Now that doesn't mean 7 literal weeks. That could be 7 days could happen over like 45 chapters. Who knows?
That's true.
But
I mean,
we're going
yeah.
But we have to get updates on Toto, Nobara, Megumi's sister.
Yep.
Within this arc for sure. We have to. It's mandatory. Unless it's just something like, oh yeah, that's all screen, and then 2 years from now in chapter 400, if it goes that long, yeah, let's go revisit what happened at that. Like something's got to give. The question. I don't know.
So quick question though. We still got to find this angel character that can just cancel out curse.
And we don't know which colony that angel character is.
Exactly. We don't know.
Yeah.
Because they haven't even started looking for that person yet.
Yeah.
So
it's like right now we're trying to find the person who's at the top so they can probably like
make a new rule.
Our side to make a new rule so then we can find the angels. Like there's hella steps that still need to be done. And before you can even get to that, you got to deal with niggas trying to kill you. That's what you got to deal with.
So also, I'm going to say it because I mean this. Man, it hurts to be reading JJK week to week right now.
Yeah, dude. It's like shit. Another 7 days.
It's like why do I caught up? Yo, man, you binge this, you gonna have a good time, bro. I can't wait until this is done for me to go back and binge it. Because
I was one of those lucky people that got to binge Shibuya.
Yeah, bro.
Like.
Man, was agonizing. Like not in the like, oh, I hate this, but it's just
week to week. It's like, what's gonna happen? Yeah, bro.
Because Shibuya did last a whole year. It really did last a whole year. That's 52 plus weeks of us just.
I mean, and I kind of felt that way about the war arc when it started in My Hero. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it did.
It's like, and those were going in parallel. The agony.
It'd just be like, well, I know 2 of the mangas I'm about to read is about to have me just like wanting more. So do I start off my Sunday with them, or do I end my Sunday? I don't know. I don't know,
right? But no, Rob is right. So yeah, she definitely. So talking about Nobara, yeah, definitely isn't dead. I think she'll come up in the color game. She has to. Exactly. She has to come up. It wouldn't make sense for him to like really like truly start to give us some Nobara shot, and they'll be like, nope. And if he wanted to hurt us, which he does like to hurt us, we've seen this multiple times. Rest in peace, my dad. You know who I'm talking about. He would hurt us in person, right in the front. He wouldn't do that behind our backs. He would hurt us right in front of us. Like, that's just what he does. Who's calling me? Oh, that's my wife. My bad. Anyway, and they asked about Toto. Yeah, is Toto's curse technique gone? Or just he can't use it in his current state?
He can't use it in his current state. Definitely not gone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this call.
Yeah, I would have to reread Shibuya again because even though his hand was cut off, he could still like use it. He could still do it because it wasn't just clap. It was more of just the motion. It doesn't need to clap 2 hands together. But he did get really effed up too. So again, I put him in the same category as Nobara. Like they're both just really hurting right now. They need to recover, but they also kind of have to participate. So we'll probably get them towards the end of the 19-day limitation that is imposed on the game.
Right.
But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what Toto's up to. I mean, I would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just learning how to.
Ty, don't say that. Don't say that, Ty.
Well,
don't say that.
So my thoughts, and I don't know if I said this before. Like, so remember, like there are ways to adapt yourself to your curse technique. I always refer back to Mekamaru. Mekamaru literally adapted his technique with technology, and I think that's what they do with Toto. He gets a prosthetic of some kind to adapt his ability, or he figures something else out on how to use his ability.
He ends up being like that guy from Scary
Movie. I mean, there are other ways to clap. Sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I told y'all what this was. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I need that as a clip to put on the internet.
My god.
So, I mean, with JJK, I mean, I kind of still feel like we're at a point that we don't know enough, and I feel like that means that Gege's got us exactly where he wants us. Like, I'm like, okay, so like, what's happening next? We don't know, but I'm sure we're gonna find out. It's just gonna happen, and we're gonna be like, oh, because that's the way it always happens with Gege. Where it's like I can't really read it too often where we just see it coming. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're gonna find out one way or another. I really
appreciate his writing because a lot of reveals just came out of nowhere for me, and I'm the type of person that I figure shit out like as I read it. So it's really refreshing. I love JJK.
I agree, and I'm about that. So I guess we want to get final statements on this chapter of JJK.
Yeah, basically, Ty, don't speak such blasphemy. Leave that alone. Leave that alone.
You keep that out of your mouth, okay?
Yeah, I really hope he doesn't die, man. I really hope so.
Like, for real.
My favorite, it's my favorite cursed spirit in all of JJK. Like, please don't do that. I will actually shed a tear reading that chapter. Don't do that.
Listen, I have shed many a tear reading this damn manga, bro. Because Gege knows how to build up characters and situations, not just characters, and situations that really mess me up. And so I'm like, all right, well, I'm ready to see how you hurt me next, in the good and the bad way. But honestly, I'm ready. I want Gege to kind of like be like, all right, so we've hit to a point where what your main characters thought they were trying to do, they cannot. And so now they have to figure out another way to do it. And that's what I'm truly hoping for, to be completely honest with you.
Same. I
really want him to like throw his characters off their game and be like, yeah, you thought you was going to do this, but that ain't how this works at all. So I'm about that life. And I know Gege can do that for us. So.
Oh yeah. Watching our heroes struggle and then rising above that shit, like that's what we want to see. So
that's what I love, bro. That's what I love about these stories. It's just like he builds these characters and then you're like, okay, how they gonna get out of this? And he's like, I don't know, you're gonna find out. Oh man. So I guess real quick before we move on, favorite moment from this chapter. Go.
It is Yuji punching that man square on in the propeller. Like he's like, oh, this can cut through anything, even steel. Your hand broke. And you just look at him, it's like, dog, this is your own spirit allowing you to talk some more before you pass the hell out because you're
right.
Your head is bloody. Your propellers look droopy.
This nigga's not even coherent right now.
Yeah, you got brain damage. It's done.
Yeah, you are hallucinating this shit. You. In his mind, he's like, yeah.
The whole thought of this fight.
The whole thought of this fight is you. Oh, sorry, sir. You're probably dead now. But that's
was in the beginning too. I was like, this is a great way to start. Like, bam, get that motherfucker out the paint.
I think for me, my favorite part was like literally watching Yuji just look at this man and figure out his whole life. It's like, you ain't that interested. I know exactly how you work. And then just literally just busted wide open. I was like, yes, Yuji.
Which goes back to what you said earlier. Yuji, he's different. He's different now.
He built different.
Yeah, this boy he was using his head. He's like, bet, let me strategize. And the confidence. So what if you can cut through anything? Your name's not Captain Jack.
He did not flinch. Exactly. He didn't flinch. He was like, all right, cool. He got to come to me. I'm gonna show him what happens. It's like, oh, okay. I'm about it. But James, you?
Mine's the same as Abe, man. Just watching him just charging up and just punching the shit out of this dude in the head, just fucking up his propellers, and then like how incoherent he was. Like that was the best part for me. I died laughing reading that shit.
I did too. It was hilarious. I was like, and at first I was like, hey, is he about to use a black flash? It's like, I don't even need to use a black flash. I can hit you with a regular ass punch and you done.
I was thinking that too, and I'm glad he didn't. Yeah, I'm very glad he didn't. Yeah.
Same. Absolutely. Big same. So, hey, thank y'all so much for sticking around for the JJK portion. We're about to move on to my favorite chapter of the week. I know spoilers. My Hero Academia, because my new waifu is about their business. All right, y'all ready to talk about this chapter of My Hero Academia?
You know what happens when My Hero's really good? There's gonna be a break. Like every fucking time. Shonen Jump says see you in 14 days. Okay.
Yeah.
It do? I didn't even look.
Yeah, we gotta wait.
That means there is. Oh,
I was reading it. I was like, dude, this chapter is way too good. There's no way there's a chapter next week. And then I look at it, it says 14 days. I was like, great.
It's getting
you just made.
But yeah, man, the art in this chapter was amazing. It was great to see an American hero that was a student, someone that was inspired by All Might, and then actually getting to see how her quirk works, bro.
As we just talked about JJK, this is JJK the character in My Hero Academia.
Right? Like, what?
I
Because
feel like
the whole time I'm like, Stars and Stripe, what is your quirk? What can she do, right? Like,
and why was All for One worried about you specifically?
Right.
He called her out. He was like, hey, she's showing up. We got a problem on our hands. I need that shit.
The one problem that we have right now, the one cog in my plan.
Oh, and my Lord, do I love her. I am infatuated.
And we find out her quirk, New Order, the first time she used it. And I love the art too. It's this giant star pattern. And she's like, yep, air simply does not exist for the next 100 meters. And it's like, what?
Not only that, the way that the stealth bombers are working in perfect unison with her.
Yeah.
Ah! Bro,
like, that is some elite stuff. That is some elite stuff. But yeah, that quirk is so American. It's just like
it's so yes. And then Shiggy used it. Yes, let me throw that one up on screen because it was so dope. I loved seeing it. It was amazing. Like Shiggy going, all right, I got y'all. I'm gonna use my most Dragon Ball Z busted ass move. Use the Kamehameha on her and her gang, and they was like, hey, we gotta move.
Evade, and like you mentioned, in perfect unison. I was like, wow, I really thought they would all get effed up, but nah.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
like, not even Will Smith and Independence Day had such coordination like this. Like, this is dope.
No, this is the Top Gun squadron. That's why we good.
Tom Cruise, I see you, baby.
But no, like, so, man, All for One. So I think that was the first time we've seen him use, what was it, heavy load? For the first time, and I was like, "This man got all kind of stuff."
Raise on fire today.
He just got all kind of stuff.
I don't know.
Up his sleeve.
Other things can clap in comment got me dead for sure.
Yeah, so he used radio waves plus air cannon plus heavy payload.
So I'm like, okay, but I guess my question was, why radio wave? Why? Well, you could have just used air cannon and heavy load. Was he using radio wave to call in more Nomu? Because we know that's how they're activated, right?
Or did he use radio wave? Because remember when she was standing on top of him, he was like, she fell for it. I wonder if that's why he used radio wave. It influenced her to make a decision like, oh yeah, nah, I definitely got him. Like he's done.
Kind of like to throw him off.
Yeah, like
Denzel. I was thinking the same. Maybe to disrupt the Jets' communications, but it didn't look like it. But it didn't look like it did that.
Yeah,
because I mean, right after they fucked him up. Yeah. So I was like, So I'm like, why is Shiggy going Super Saiyan 3?
I mean, he is.
I mean, but she's Super Saiyan 8, so there ain't no comparison.
Is she Super Saiyan 8? Because
she got 8 tufts, bro. She's Super Saiyan 8.
8 tufts. I mean, because then what is All Might? Because his 2 tufts.
Super Saiyan 2.
She said she ain't as strong as Super Saiyan 2, though.
She said physically.
So,
she said physically.
She's not physically.
She's not as strong, but she said it'll do enough. But I was like,
that's what radio wave got her thinking.
I'm not sure because I wanted to go back to the beginning of the chapter. Could he have thought that using radio waves could have potentially disrupt the shock shield? Or is that stretching?
Oh, potentially.
Because that's what I was thinking. Is like, well, he wanted to use radio waves to see if it can like temporarily disrupt the shock shield, because then his next attack would actually be able to destroy the jets.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
That's assuming that. Wait, so did they like publicly announce like, yes, for Shiggy to hear, yes, turn on shock shield? Because
so that's at the beginning. That's
at the
chapter.
beginning they did that to because they know that he has an EMP like quirk.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, and so they were protecting themselves from that, which I'm like, hey yo, they came prepared.
But the thing is, it's still All for One. Like, he's not that predictable, you know. Like, I think there's a distinct reason why he used radio waves. We just don't.
Yeah, we just don't know it yet.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't to do an EMP like attack, because it's like, oh, of course they know that.
Because Ray brought up the Nomu, but he's already with one-on-one Nomu at the beginning of the chapter.
I mean, but maybe he realized he needed more than what he brought. That's what I'm thinking.
Because he's not worried at all. He's like, oh, she fell for it. Like, she fell for it by coming on top of him. Like, I'm like,
I don't know.
Well, so what he meant by she fell for it is the reason why her quirk didn't work, because All for One knows how her quirk works. So she thought So her getting the plan was for her to get close to him to, I guess, potentially grab her to like use decay. So she thought the way her quirk works, if I say his name, I control what happens next. But he's not Shigaraki. He's not All for One either. So that's what he meant.
What's that title? What's that title he gave himself? He's the Demon Lord. That's what he's about to say. Yeah. I swear to God, he's about to say, "I am the Demon Lord." Oh, and he gonna have a whole new look. I guarantee it. For me, he's about to have a whole new look, and it's gonna be sick. Can't wait. But please don't decay my girl. Don't you dare. Horikoshi, I swear to God.
Denzel, you're absolutely right.
True God.
The Hero Society, at least in Japan, is damn near non-existent now. Just like,
Japan, they had the radio in for help, bro. They in trouble, like trouble.
And not just from the US, from different countries too, which is why All for One is using his connections to keep those heroes busy in their respective countries.
But also,
I
think that means, and I mean, I could be way off base here, that we're going to get some villains from other countries that show up to kind of disrupt other stuff that's
coming up. Dr. Doom and Latveria is about to take Dr. Doom. He's just watching. He's like, they weak. Time to make the move. Namor's gonna come up, be like, Atlantis is here to take over Japan. We'll bring it's over for them. They're done.
But Denzel brought up something about, he's like, yeah, so 97, but like, yeah, basically him saying like 98% is not looking real good for them. But but the reason why I'm not worried is because what Denzel just said. With him being at 98%, that's gotta mean that Deku's last quirk is busted as hell. It's gotta be. Yeah. Especially with him introducing this quirk from Star and Stripe, which is super busted. That means his last quirk gotta be busted as hell.
How fitting will the final battle between this Shiggy All for One versus Deku thing, because their styles are similar. They're both gonna be comboing quirks together.
Yes, exactly.
Epic,
that fight is gonna be wild, but see, Deku's got a giant trump card up his sleeve, and that's literally all of his friends that he knows how to combo with.
So and that's the thing.
So that's the thing. The last quirk won't be broken, but it's going to be him and 1A together.
But to me, that makes it busted.
Because then at that point, it'll be like 12 different quirks working in unison off of each other. That'd be wild. It'd be like, yo, All for One, you like collecting quirks. What's up? You about to get hit with a
I ain't gotta collect quirks. I collect people. Look at my friends.
Another thing that I loved about Star and Stripe is like, she's like, yeah, the laser is holdable. And then she literally is forming the laser into like this ball of energy, bro. Like, the fuck?
I have Star and Stripe is one of my favorite characters he's created. I'm not kidding.
Facts, dude.
She's cool. She's cool as fuck. Like, her reasoning for being there is amazing. Like, I love Star and Stripe.
As long as she has atoms, she can hold it.
Yeah, bro.
She can hold it.
She literally can. She can do anything, and that's why he wants that quirk so bad. So I'm like, Horikoshi, please, you cannot give him this quirk. You can't.
Like, you know how much she can be Zeus and Poseidon, mad easy. Just be like,
it's like no wonder
forward lightning and bam.
Exactly. No wonder he knew her by name and exactly what she could do because he knew if she show up, she's gonna be bad for me. She gonna cause me problems. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. She can cause a lot of people problems, and that's why she's the number one hero in America. Because I thought that Captain Celebrity's quirk was broken,
right?
But this quirk.
Because when I saw this, I instantly thought of 1A, right? I was like, Bakugo, if you use explosion, your entire body explodes.
Yeah.
Right?
You use your quirk, you're done.
Speed, you're dead. Like it's crazy. She can do almost
and
anything, bro.
She can put 2 rules per one target if she decides.
Right.
And that's wild.
Well, no, I thought it was that she can only apply 2, and one of them she applies to herself. So she only has.
So I think that's the caveat, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like
I took that as she can technically use 2, but if she used 2 on someone else, that leaves her vulnerable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, so I mean, she's just gonna basically, and it's almost like when we get that panel of like the dark explosion, I'm like, so hopefully she just pulled both her rules back to herself, essentially. And I'm like,
Shiggy confirmed Jinchuriki.
They are.
Yeah, because even if Shigaraki tries to use decay, if she's using it on herself, she's like, yeah, decay doesn't work.
Yeah. Which I'm assuming that's
or has like a different effect or something.
Which is, I'm assuming that's the rule she has. Like, I think her rule probably for herself is just, I'm invincible. Like, because why wouldn't you always have that rule on yourself?
If decay touches me, it heals my entire body and my stamina.
That'd be
sick. But she has to say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which means
they are definitely Jinchuriki. Denzel?
Yeah.
You're right. It is weird. It's weird, but I love it.
Hey.
But no, that one panel, I think Denzel said that earlier. I love the seeing her slap the shit out of Shiggy. I got to say that to my boy for Neverworld. I love you, BB, but he was like, yeah, I hope that he slapped her. I'm like, nah, she about to slap shit out of me. And then she did. I'm going to send that to him and be like, hey, yo, look, oh no, our table is broken. I can't wait. Because it was beautiful. I'm like, I love this chapter. This chapter was so good. Everything about this chapter was exactly what I wanted. Also, to the Black Lightning that All for One used back in the day come back. Yes.
I want to know what's happening in that panel.
Me too. I gotta know. I got to know.
Well,
and I hope this is
now.
I hope this is when he's saying he's like, I basically built Shigaraki from the start. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that's what it was.
That's how he moves, right? At this point,
right?
Look.
So, do you think this is his final ascension? Do you think that's what's happening in this energy ball? He's becoming 100%.
Yep. Yeah. I think he's becoming 100%. Or he's just like, this is enough. This is all I need for me to become you. Is what I think it is. It's like what? Well, actually, for us to become one, or like us to become the next level of human quirkdom. It's what I'm thinking.
Because even though All for One says that they're going to become a new being, it still seems like his consciousness will rule over Shigaraki's, which I think will be key in the end to defeating All for One. Because I feel like Shigaraki's anger will start to defeat him from within.
Yeah.
Because like we talked about, we theorize that a huge chunk of the final battle between these two will be in the All for One, One for All realm. And I think it would be a missed opportunity to not have Shigaraki in there also fighting All for One.
I mean, and we've said this for a while, is that we think that the biggest battle between Shigaraki and Deku will take place in that space. Like it has to, because that's where he saves. He doesn't physically save Shigaraki outwardly, but that's where he saves Shigaraki, is my thought. But I'm like, man, I don't know. It's going to be if he's not Shigaraki anymore, can he kill him and still feel fine? You know? Because think about the hands that he gave Overhaul when Overhaul turned into like this demon thing. So I don't know. That fight, the ultimate fight between these two is just going to be nuts.
Yeah, man.
God, it's gonna be so good. I cannot wait. But who's that? Who said that? Somebody in chat. It was Denzel, of course. What's up, Denzel? By the way, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. We kind of threw this stream together last minute, and I really appreciate y'all. Like I truly do.
Yeah, we just learned so much fun things all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, we learned a lot of just. Oh my God,
spicy! Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so Denzel said the editor in the scan said that the battle reaches its conclusion. So I'm assuming that this fight's over, which is fine. Because I didn't need I don't need Star and Stripe to lose here. Pretty pleasing, thank you. I just need her to be like, okay, whoops, gotta pull back and reevaluate. You know, like we gotta get up out of here.
Definitely.
So I'm hoping that's what's happening.
We can do this.
It's like, by the way, he's not Shigaraki or All for One no more. We gotta come up with a new plan.
I'm going back to the United States. Bye.
It's like, hey, this ain't what I signed up for. It's like, oh shit, that's a red one. I gotta go.
But then also one thing, just tangent, it makes me realize, like, yo, All Might is old as hell.
Yeah, bro.
All Might is old as hell because she was a little girl.
She was a child.
Yeah. Yes. Damn.
He's
been the number one hero for
old is
decades.
That's true. I guess we don't really know. Like, we haven't talked about that. Like, how old is All Might? He gotta be late 30s.
According to this wiki, it says that he's mid to late 30s. Wait, what?
Yeah, he gotta be late 30s. Yeah, because wasn't he a teenager when he went to the US?
No, I mean he could have been in his early 20s in the US.
I feel like he was in his late teens in the US. Had to have been.
30s is just too young.
Chat, please correct us. I'm not sure.
If y'all know, let us know because I'm really like
I'm looking at the My Hero wiki right now. I'm trying to find it.
All Might is in his 50s or 60s. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking at max like 40, 45.
Because in my opinion, All Might and One for All should be. Well, no, One for All is ancient.
One for All been alive for like centuries. That's different.
At least 2 centuries.
It would make more sense for me for All Might to be in his like youngest 40s. I'll go 40s youngest.
Yeah, so Ty says All Might had One for All for 4 decades. So that's why I'm thinking 40s. Like, I gotta be in his 40s.
Damn.
So he was a grown ass man when he was
which makes sense
in the US when she saw him.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Okay.
Wait, so how does that make Star and Stripe? I'm gonna say at least 21, so I'm keeping that. Nope.
I honestly think she's at least like 25, 26.
Yeah, gotta be.
So I had no doubt. She ain't no little girl. She a grown ass woman.
Oh,
yeah, this is weird. This is the fandom. This is the fandom wiki that says that All Might is 53.
I believe that. I
mean, I could also be swayed to think that. Yeah.
Because then here's the thing: if he's in his 30s, then for those who read My Hero Vigilantes, that changes things.
It's true. We'll talk about this later because we can get to a whole nother thing about that.
Yeah,
right? I don't think Vigilantes ends. I think it just merges into the current time.
Yes, that's the theory I've been thinking the whole time.
Yeah, I think that's what happens.
The conclusion of Vigilantes continues.
It's like
with this.
Modern day, yeah. And so he folds that group into this, which would be
expecting some parallels. I'm fully expecting some. I'm hoping the Cruella pulls up at some point and be like,
I need Cruella to show up and be like, hey, yo, I got you.
Yeah.
It's like they labeled me as a vigilante, but we all vigilantes now. Look around, everything's busted.
But even then, and I apologize. I know we're supposed to be talking about the main My Hero, but
I know.
Most recent Vigilantes chapter.
Don't spoil it for them though, because it.
Yeah, I won't give details, but what's the Doctor and All for One did right there? I'm like, that's what makes me think that your theory about how he's been molding Shigaraki from the beginning makes perfect, because what that was was a whole new level of normal we haven't even seen.
We haven't seen recently
yet.
Exactly. And so I'm like, technically, we're seeing it right now. Technically.
Yeah, technically. So we can say that the Vigilante version was like version 1.0. This is Shiggy's version 2.0 But like,
I need to read Vigilantes.
Yes, you do.
I know.
If you are a My Hero Academia fan, Vigilantes is by all intent and purposes, required reader for me.
It's
Like,
canon,
like
because
yes,
Horikoshi
at the it's a little campy at the start, but it gets very, very good very quickly. So please read My Hero Vigilantes.
And I'm really hoping that Horikoshi, because he's involved with it, he's not outwardly writing it,
exactly,
but he's being consulted on Vigilantes. So anything that is in Vigilantes, we can assume is canon anyway.
It is
because we have Aizawa in there. We have all those miracle.
Well, I mean, that's what we got. That's what we got. Aizawa's backstory. We got that.
That's exactly
there.
All Might's involved in it a little bit. We learned so much more about.
How far in is the Aizawa backstory?
Not that far, actually.
Yeah,
it's not that far.
It kind of works its way throughout the story when he gets involved. You know, because there's the arc that we're currently in. Predating that arc, Aizawa is a prominent figure. You can expect him almost in every chapter because he's working with the MC, and so we learn some more. Because Aizawa at that point, that's before he started working at UA.
Yeah, so, but somebody asked about a new costume. Do we think Deku gets? Will Deku get a new costume? Yes,
facts.
I think Deku definitely gets a new costume. It's just because this is him shedding that. I have to do this on my own skin, and it's like, all right, let's do this together. And it's very well equipped for what he can do now.
That and his current suit's all the way fucked up, so he got to make a new one. I mean, it's
encrusted in blood, and it's like, and I think he finally gets away from the All Might visage. I think it has his own. I think so. Yeah, he's like, well, it's All Might inspired, but it's not like the same visage like it's always been.
His third wife is
All
about to
Might
hook
and
him
Gran
up.
Torino inspired.
Ooh,
His third wife is about to hook him up with equipment that will be able to cater to all his.
You're right.
All his quirks. She knows what her man wants. She got him. She
like I've been watching you. I know what you need.
Come over to my office. Let's get.
Can you imagine? And again, this might be a stretch, but can you imagine if she's able to put something in the suit that complements Fajin to where he can collect even more kinetic energy?
Well, think about it. That's how Bakugo's gauntlets work.
True.
So yes,
it stores up. Yeah, that's true.
But
I think that's possible.
The reason it wouldn't work is if Deku himself doesn't understand it. If Deku,
wouldn't he? She would explain it to him. He'd be like, "Got it," because I'm smart as hell.
Well, I don't know. She would be able to like. That's assuming she knows what Fajin is.
I mean, why wouldn't he explain it at this point? He would explain it.
I think they would explain all the
fully understands exactly.
Well, I mean, he literally has the person in his head who can explain it to him to explain it to him.
Fair. I keep forgetting the messages do help out with like, yo, this is how you use my.
So this is a good question.
All of them are cooperating.
Right, exactly. They're all going to be cooperating here, hopefully. So, Dazelle asks, do you guys think we'll go overseas at this point? Shigen often want to conquer Japan as the Demon Lord?
No, because we're in the final arc, and if that happens, that's a whole separate arc in itself.
So, I personally don't think that we leave Japan, and mostly because they just set up UA as like this bastion of like, all right, he's gonna, because I feel like what we're gonna get this very, very, very large scale decay, and UA is gonna go into bunker protection mode and gonna move somewhere else, and we know where else that is. I don't know, and that's where their last bastion's gonna be. Is what I personally think is gonna happen. It'll still be in Japan, but like they're gonna be last bastion will be UA.
And even after that, there's so much to clean up. The hero society, how people view the heroes, like there needs to be a reorganization of everything. So I don't see us leaving Japan for anything, not in the main story. I think when My Hero's done, I think we'll definitely explore America and other countries and like spin-offs. But like as far as this, I don't think we're leaving Japan.
Yeah. Because the way I see it is that once this final fight happens, Japan has to go through a whole restructuring.
Like they have to, not just restructure, they have to rebuild Japan.
Yeah, rebuilding Japan, rebuilding what it means to be a hero, what it means to utilize heroes, and other countries are going to be paying attention to that because we now know that other countries have similar issues of how do we use our heroes. It may not be as corrupt, at least to our eyes, just yet. It may not be as corrupt as Japan's was. But they'll have their eyes in like, all right, we might have to see some change. So I can see, like you mentioned, spin-offs maybe exploring that change a little bit. Maybe we might get a one shot, be like, hey, this is what's going on in America, starring Stripe. This is, because she does what she wants. So America just, they don't have a say. And here's in Africa where let's go to Algeria. This is what's going on over there. I see it as one shots.
I would love that. But I also want Horikoshi to do other stuff. I'll be very frank.
Yeah.
Because Horikoshi he's a fantastic writer, bro. And I feel like he's got some other stories that he wants to tell. So I'm kind of okay with him wrapping up My Hero.
Vigilantes. Yeah,
exactly. I want other folks to take it over. Yeah. But I would love for him to pick somebody from America to write the American version of My Hero. God, that would be so much.
Because everything that All for One mentioned, there are other huge factions of villains in different countries. So it would be a huge missed opportunity to not explore that stuff after the main My Hero. Go straight to America. Let's explore the heroes, the villain society over there based on everything that happened in Japan. Everything changes, like you were saying, Abe. Everything changes with the hero society in other countries. So let's watch that all play out. Horikoshi can just be, he can just here's some advice here. This is what I would do. Stuff like that. But he doesn't have to write it,
I want him to be the Jeff Johns of his own My Hero verse.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh man, that'd be sick. I would love that. But I know we could talk about My Hero all day. So I guess final thoughts on this chapter, because let's be honest, it was amazing. God,
what does this energy ball in the sky with the black lightning mean? Is it All for One and Shigaraki becoming 100% becoming this new full being? What do we get in the next chapter? Do we continue this fight? Is this a stop moment to just briefly switch to something else and then come right back? Because we know that we can assume that Hawks and Best Jeanist are on their way to help Star and Stripe, correct?
Well, we know Endeavor is. We know that Endeavor is legitimately en route. So I don't know how that goes. Because I feel you're right with this. We see this ball with the black electricity, them merging.
Right.
I truly do feel like this is the true final form of All for One Shigaraki. I think that's what we get, but I'm how does it play out? I don't know. And I'm concerned because, like you said, we get a 2-week break, and I'm oh no, that means because usually that means something bad about to happen.
Yeah. And Rob, I think that house is just Shigaraki's old.
Yeah, I think that's Shigaraki's family home. I think. You correct me if I'm wrong in the comments later if you're watching or in chat right now.
Because based on the dialogue, it began in that house with a grain of hate that grew and built upon itself. Yeah, so that had to be his childhood home.
Right.
But chat definitely correct us if we're wrong.
But no, so I know that y'all are maybe they go to America. I don't know. I personally, I'm not going to say it's impossible. There's a chance. I don't know if they do, but there's a chance. So maybe he does have a way to send UA to America instead. I don't know. That'd be wild, but I feel like that would complicate the story so much more.
It would, because it's all about Japan. This is home for all of the characters. It's all about conquering Japan. So the final battle has to be at Japan. If he wins in Japan, honestly, I don't think Horikoshi just. Do we need?
If he wins in Japan, I think it just becomes Days of Future Past, where it's now they're on the run in Japan from the villains.
Yeah.
So Rob brings up a really good point, right? We still have to get to Shoto and Endeavor versus Dobby, right? So when does this all take place? Is it going to be separate? Do they fight Dobby in the middle of the Shigaraki fight? When do you bring this back up? Obviously, Horikoshi's a genius. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I think sending it to America would complicate it so much, because there's so many more. We still have so many threads we have to wrap up, because y'all keep yelling about Toga. Y'all forgetting about Toga? Where's she at? Yeah. What's she doing?
What I think could happen with the Dobby situation is that Endeavor and Shoto, they're on their way. There's a plan. We got to go fight. And Dobby is nah, y'all got to go through me first before you can make your way out at the final battle.
Dobby to hit Endeavor with an anti-aircraft missile, because that sounds ridiculous and amazing. It's he's nothing but heat. Hit him with that missile. You see that big ass heat signature? That's my dad. Get his ass.
Get his ass. Because as far as we know, it seems like Dobby. Mind you, not only that, we got Spinner and his own faction forming too. So we're gonna get some stuff with Spinner.
So I wasn't here for that last episode. Just a quick aside. Do y'all think that Spinner got a power up from One for All?
Yes. Definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm glad y'all thinking that, because there was just that one split panel that made me think, oh, did he just level up Spirit? Maybe.
Yeah, he did.
But we can talk about that later on in the comments and stuff. Exactly. But no, I love this chapter. This chapter is Horikoshi being just, hitting the gas pedal again. And I'm like, I need more, but we won't find out for another 14 days.
Yeah.
What happened? So,
and even then, the next chapter might be like, yeah, we're gonna go somewhere completely different. We're just gonna. No, I'm not gonna give you a conclusion on.
Well, I mean, I kind of feel like it'll be him, everybody else hearing about the information that's coming to them as it's happening. And then we kind of at the end see, oh no, the demon lord is appeared.
The skies are darkening. All his eyes into his final form.
Oh my god, no!
Yeah,
but yes, Bleach again. It's full circle now. But hey, what did y'all think of this chapter? Put it down in the comments below, because listen, we love My Hero around here, and I love that y'all love it with us. So I guess this is where we're gonna wrap it up for the day. So I appreciate y'all joining us for Shonen Ronins. So plugs, my boys. Abe.
Oh, you already know what it is. It's your boy Prince ALawal, ALawal, the Jinn of Apocalypse, the son of Darkseid himself. You can find me on the Osen A podcast that drops every Sunday and Wednesday or Thursday. Actually, it will be dropping 2 hours from now. Definitely check out Inside the Mind of a Blurred, Mayanaka Mixer. Check out Anime Lately, of course. Check out Careful for Spoilers. Check out Spicy Lady Gaming. We're just doing a lot of fun things. We're halfway through October, basically. With Careful for Spoilers, we're doing a lot of Halloween stuff. We're really enjoying ourselves. For anybody who follows me on Twitter, Prince_ALawal. You'll see me tweeting if it's not about football, basketball, maybe something about baseball or anime or manga. It's definitely about a horror movie. I'm recommending everybody watch Chucky. Watch the Chucky series every Tuesday. Please watch that. It is phenomenal. It is great. It's not more so scary. It's just like, slashers had this thing.
It's Chucky, which is the best part, dude.
Yeah,
Fair.
It's just a doll who likes to kill people and talk shit. You feel me? Like, he's gonna call you an asshole and say, like, he's gonna use other derogatory terms.
By the way, chat, like the video before you leave. I need every single one of y'all to like the video right now. To do it. But if you don't, I'll be sad. And you don't want that.
And you don't want to see him sad. Please don't do that, because then we have to deal with that, and we don't want to have sad Ray. So we want happy Ray.
So you don't like it.
My hand is everywhere. You can find me in some way, some form by looking at any of these guys and seeing what they're doing. You'll find me somewhere in that mix.
Yep. James.
Yeah, you guys can follow me all over social media at Jbxclusive, especially on Twitter. Much like Abe, it's October now, so all I'm doing is watching Halloween horror TV shows, horror movies. Finally saw the first episode of Chucky last night. If you are a horror fan, if you are a fan of Chucky, this first episode is fucking lit, dude. Like, it's so Chucky. Can't wait to see the other characters get involved. Yesterday, Abe and Vash, we did a full 4-hour live coverage of DC fandom. So if you haven't seen it, you want to see everything and see our reactions from the event, go over to Careful for Spoilers YouTube channel right now. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the video. I have time codes for literally every single reveal that happens, so you don't have to watch the whole 4-hour thing. If you don't want to, you can skip around to your favorite parts. I also have a couple clips up on the channel right now. The Batman reaction. I uploaded the Flash reaction this morning. I'm going to do Black Adam a little bit later. And I'll also have an article up on the website that's going to have absolutely everything written down and broken down for you guys. So yeah, we got a lot of lit content for you guys. I'm about to upload today's post for 31 Days of Halloween. Abe and Steve and myself, we're going to be reviewing Halloween Kills tomorrow. So again, got a lot of content coming for you guys. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, following Careful for Spoilers on Twitter, following me on Twitter to stay updated with everything we got going on.
So you heard them, y'all. They got a lot going on. There's a lot of content for y'all to consume, and you got time to consume it. So go and watch all of it, listen to all of it, consume every bit of it. Go read the articles, go to the website. You know what you need to do. Yes, Steve, wrap it up. I was that late. See what happens when we start on time? So sorry, Steve. Yeah, you late today because we started on time. But hey, make sure that if you are here for the first time, thank you so much for being here for the first time. Subscribe to the Anime Lately channel because guess what? You get more content like this every Sunday. Not, I'm biased because this is about the only time I'm on the channel now. So yeah, come hang out with us on Sundays for Shonen Ronin. But also make sure you tune in for the Anime Lately podcast on Thursday nights. And then the anime reactions are back. Sam and Vash are back doing those, and they're hilarious. So make sure you watch those on the channel.
Yeah.
And again, I would love if you liked this video, so that way I can show Sam and Vash, hey, guess what? They like the show when y'all not here. I'm kidding. That's a joke. I love my boys, but like the video anyway because I'm still gonna hold it over their head. You know what I'm saying? But I am RayApollo. You can find me everywhere as RayApollo, RayApollo. Except for on Instagram. Don't follow me there because if you do, I'll be very upset. But other than that, like I said, subscribe to the Anime Lately channel, like the video, go watch the other content on this channel. Go follow Sam the Mega Man. Go follow what's Vash's @ on Twitter?
Legendy Vash.
Legendy Vash on Twitter. Sorry, I forgot. I mean, if you pick something that had your name in it, like your actual name, I might have got it right, but I didn't. Oh well. But thank y'all so much for coming in and watching this because we had a great time this morning. I hope y'all enjoyed the chapter today. If you're watching this later on, which I'm sure you are, drop your favorite chapter and favorite moment from this week's Jump chapters. It doesn't even have to be the ones that we just talked about. Drop them in the comments below, and we appreciate y'all. But we'll catch y'all next time. But until then, keep reading that manga and watching that anime. Except for read it with Healer, because then if you do, I don't trust you. All right, love y'all. Talk to you later. Bye.
I was